Good afternoon, everyone. This is your Tropical Atlantic Marine Weather Briefing for Thursday, September 18th, valid for the next 5 days through Tuesday, September 23rd. I'm Jeff Lewitsky, a lead forecaster at the National Hurricane Center. First, let's take a look at the summary of hazards for the next 5 days. In the Atlantic Ocean, all eyes are on Tropical Storm Gabrielle, which currently has 45-knot winds and seas to around 18 feet. However, for the Caribbean Sea and Gulf of America, we're looking at pretty tranquil conditions, winds of moderate or weaker, and slight to moderate seas. Here's the tropical weather outlook for the next 7 days. Tropical Storm Gabrielle is in the central Atlantic there. We're also monitoring in the eastern tropical Atlantic a tropical wave currently along the west coast of Africa, which does have some disorganized showers and thunderstorms this afternoon. It does have a low possibility, to gradually develop while it moves west-northwest across the eastern and central tropical Atlantic through the next 7 days. Here's the latest information on Tropical Storm Gabrielle as of this morning, Thursday morning. It is struggling over the central Atlantic. Gabrielle is moving towards the west-northwest, and this motion is expected to continue over the next couple days, and then a turn to the northwest this weekend. Little change in strength is forecast during the next 48 hours, but some gradual intensification is forecast over this weekend. Here's a look at the current winds and waves as of Thursday morning, along with the surface analysis. As mentioned in the summary, the Gulf of Mexico and Caribbean Sea are very tranquil winds, moderate or weaker, including over the southwest North Atlantic. All eyes on Gabrielle in the central Atlantic with a large area of seas up to 18 feet. Moving forward to 24 hours, Friday morning, little change. Gabrielle's continuing off to the west-northwest, along with that area of seas, still around 16 to 18 feet. Going forward to this weekend, Saturday morning, out at 48 hours, Gabrielle continues off to the west-northwest, maybe starting to make that northwesterly turn, with a small area of seas up to 16 to 18 feet. Also watching a tropical wave coming in behind it with some freshening winds just ahead of it. Going to Sunday morning, 72-hour forecast, Gabrielle getting closer to 31 north here. Still have an area of seas, maybe building a bit up to 18 to 20 feet by this point. Could have some fresh winds near this tropical wave out in the central Atlantic. Also noticing a coastal trough off the Carolinas, mainly north of our area. Possible fresh winds there. For early next week, Monday morning, Gabrielle is now crossing north of 31 north. By this point, interest in Bermuda should continue to watch it. However, the Gulf and Caribbean Sea and rest of the Atlantic is quite tranquil, especially for this time of year. Lastly, your 120-hour forecast, little change. We still see those quiet conditions over pretty much all the waters by this point. Gabrielle is north of the area now with some large seas over the Ocean Prediction Center's area. Could have some fresh winds trailing behind it just south of 30 north. Otherwise, things look quiet. Lastly, here's again a summary of the hazards the next 5 days. In the Atlantic, we have Tropical Storm Gabrielle. Also could have some fresh winds near a tropical wave in its wake. Otherwise, mainly moderate or weaker winds in the Atlantic away from Gabrielle. For both the Caribbean Sea and Gulf of America, we're expecting winds moderate or weaker and slight to locally moderate seas. Your next Tropical Atlantic Marine Weather Briefing will be issued by 6 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time on Sunday, September 21st.